Are your new shrimp hiding? Are they stressed or just scared? This is a common concern among aquarists like Nick, who recently asked, I added some Amano shrimp to a community tank, but they've gone into hiding. I haven't seen them come out to graze. Any idea why? Before we get to the answer, here are 3 key things Nick pointed out. His water parameters are good, his shrimp were acclimated, and their tank mates include a honey gourami, guppies, and albino cories. With that in mind, let's dive right in. When shrimp are added to a new tank, now this can really apply to any species, this behavior is often natural and influenced by various factors. The first factor is adjustment to a new environment, which is a critical phase for shrimp. When introduced to a new tank, shrimp often hide because they're unfamiliar with their surroundings. This adjustment period allows them to assess their environment and ensure it's safe. Newly introduced shrimp may cluster together in corners, behind plants, or near heaters as a way to feel more secure. Sometimes, differences in water parameters like pH, temperature, GH, KH, or TDS between the store they came from and your tank can cause stress, leading them to retreat until they fully acclimate. This is why you may even see a freshly molted shell just a few hours or a day after adding them to your tank. In addition to hiding, shrimp may also swim frantically around the tank. This is often a stress response as they try to find a suitable environment or escape perceived threats. However, if you notice a male shrimp swimming actively around the tank, it could simply be part of the breeding process, triggered by a recently molted female releasing pheromones. You may also notice reduced activity at first, with shrimp spending more time hiding or staying still to avoid drawing attention to themselves. Some stressed shrimp may even engage in excessive self-grooming as they adjust to their new water parameters. As your shrimp become more comfortable, they will start to explore their new environment, gradually venturing out in search of food. These behaviors are typically temporary and should subside as they acclimate to their new surroundings. To ease their tension, consider gradually acclimating them to their new water parameters to reduce stress. Before adding any new shrimp to my tanks, I drip acclimate them for about 3 hours. I've been using this method for years and I find that my shrimp are much less stressed once introduced to their new home. If you'd like to see my process in more detail, check out the video in the top right corner. Once your shrimp are in the tank, you can perform small water changes of about 10 to 20% once a week. This helps prevent waste buildup and ensures the new water closely matches your tank's parameters. Over time, you can either extend the time between water changes or simply do top-ups as water evaporates. Another important thing to keep in mind is ensuring the water temperature is optimal for your shrimp species and that all other parameters stay within a healthy range. If shrimp are unhappy with their environment, they may hide constantly, swim erratically, or even attempt to climb out of the tank, which can be fatal. But if they're comfortable, you'll start seeing them out and about, actively exploring their new home. The second factor is an uncycled or poorly maintained tank. An uncycled tank lacks the essential beneficial bacteria needed to process ammonia and nitrites, which can severely stress or harm shrimp. These bacteria are crucial for maintaining a stable nitrogen cycle in an aquarium. As shrimp, fish, and other inhabitants excrete waste, or if uneaten food accumulates, it releases ammonia, which is extremely toxic. Beneficial bacteria then convert ammonia into nitrite, which is still harmful but less toxic. A second type of bacteria further breaks down nitrite into nitrate, which is much safer. Nitrate can then be absorbed by plants over time or removed through regular water changes. Without these beneficial bacteria, toxin levels can rise quickly, causing shrimp to hide excessively, become lethargic, lose their appetite, experience discoloration, suffer from gill damage, or in severe cases, die. Even at low levels, ammonia and nitrites weaken a shrimp's immune system, making them more vulnerable to disease. Poor water qualities or incorrect parameters can also lead to shrimp hiding and other health issues. Sudden fluctuations in temperature, pH, or other parameters can cause stress, shock, or molting problems. When setting up a new tank, it's essential to wait at least 3 to 4 weeks before adding shrimp. This allows the tank to cycle and beneficial bacteria to establish on surfaces, including the filter. If you want to speed up the process, you can take an old sponge filter from an established tank and squeeze it into the new tank. The beneficial bacteria released will start multiplying and colonizing your new setup. Another method is ghost feeding, which is adding a small amount of powdered food weekly and allowing it to break down. The ammonia which is released will help jumpstart the cycling process. Adding live plants like java moss, dwarf water lettuce, or Limnophila sessiliflora can also help as they absorb ammonia, nitrites, and nitrates for growth. For an established tank, regular testing and ongoing maintenance are crucial for a healthy environment. If the tank is fairly new, start with weekly 10 to 20% water changes. As it stabilizes, you can extend the time between water changes or simply top off evaporated water. Personally, I do water changes every 2 weeks and top off the water in between. Before adding shrimp to a new tank, always test the water to ensure it's safe for them. Once they're in, keeping parameters stable is key to reducing stress and maintaining their health. The third factor is the presence of predators. Shrimp, being at the bottom of the food chain, have evolved to be highly cautious and reactive to potential dangers. This instinct is crucial for their survival and is especially strong when introduced to a new environment. When shrimp are added to a new tank, their immediate reaction is often to seek shelter and avoid open spaces. This behavior is driven by three key instincts. 1. Survival instinct. In nature, exposed shrimp are easy targets for predators. 2. Environmental assessment. Hiding allows them to observe their surroundings safely. And 3. Stress reduction. Shelter provides a sense of security in an unfamiliar setting. Even in tanks without actual predators, shrimp may perceive threats from larger fish that could be mistaken for predators. Fast-moving fish can also startle shrimp, triggering their flight response. Additionally, aggressive or territorial fish that defend their space may intimidate shrimp, causing them to hide for extended periods. When I first started keeping shrimp in 2022, I had a 10-gallon tank with about 4 Amanos. Back then, I knew very little about shrimp care or how they interacted with fish. After a few months, I decided to add a betta, which turned out to have an aggressive temperament. Within days, all my shrimp went missing. After doing some research, I assumed the betta had killed them. But a few months later, I moved the betta to a new tank, and to my surprise, my Amanos reappeared. It turns out that they had been hiding under the driftwood the entire time, perceiving the betta as a threat. To help your shrimp feel secure and reduce this hiding behavior, provide ample shelter like dense plants, driftwood, stones, rocks, or caves. Creating a shrimp-only tank eliminates the predator stress entirely. If you prefer to keep shrimp with fish, choose peaceful, small species that occupy different areas of the tank. If you'd like to learn more about some shrimp-friendly tank mates that I've kept, check out the video in the top right corner. The fourth factor is the lack of hiding spots. Ironically, fewer hiding places can make shrimp more reclusive. Without adequate shelter, they feel unsafe venturing out into the open. So, why are hiding spots essential? 1. They provide a sense of safety, allowing shrimp to retreat when they feel threatened. 2. They help reduce overall stress, making shrimp feel more at ease in their environment. 3. They create varied microenvironments, catering to different needs like feeding, molting, or giving birth. And 4. They minimize competition and aggression, ensuring all shrimp have a space to retreat to. To create effective hiding spots, use live plants to provide natural cover. Mosses like Java moss or Christmas moss make excellent shelters, while stem plants like hornwort and carpeting plants like dwarf hairgrass offer additional protection. Hardscape elements like driftwood, rocks, and ceramic shrimp tubes create crevices, caves, and tunnels. Botanicals such as Indian almond leaves not only serve as hiding places, but also release beneficial tannins that improve water quality. By adding these hiding spots, you'll notice several benefits. Shrimp will be more active and confident, knowing they have safe places to retreat to. A secure environment encourages breeding behaviors and supports undisturbed molting. Plus, when shrimp feel safe, they exhibit a wider range of natural behaviors, making your tank more dynamic and engaging. The fifth factor is molting, breeding, and birthing behaviors. These natural processes can significantly impact shrimp activity, often leading to increased hiding. When shrimp are introduced to a new tank, stress and changes in water parameters can sometimes trigger molting. During this process, shrimp shed their exoskeletons and become highly vulnerable. To protect themselves, they retreat into hiding until their new shell hardens, which can take several hours to a full day. Female shrimp also tend to hide during breeding, especially right after molting, when they release pheromones to attract males. By staying in a secluded area, they reduce stress and avoid being overwhelmed by multiple males at once. When a female shrimp is ready to give birth, she will seek out a safe hiding spot to release her young. This helps ensure their survival by keeping them away from potential predators and providing a secure area where they can graze for food. Did you know that baby shrimp barely move for about 2 weeks after birth? This is why it's crucial for them to be born in a sheltered space rather than out in the open, where they would be highly vulnerable. To support shrimp during these sensitive periods, provide plenty of hiding spots using plants and hardscape, maintain stable water parameters, and acclimate new shrimp carefully before introducing them to your tank. To ensure baby shrimp don't go hungry, since, as I mentioned, they remain stationary for the first 2 weeks, offer micro-powdered foods like glass carton shrimp baby. This type of food spreads throughout the tank, ensuring that even the tiniest shrimp can access it. Speaking of shrimp food, have you tried giving your shrimp snowflakes? It's an all-natural shrimp food made from soybean hulls, rich in essential nutrients. It provides a growth medium for mycelia, a fungus shrimp love to graze on, is easily digestible, breaks down slowly in the tank, making it the ideal vacation food, and does not pollute the water quickly, giving you more flexible feeding schedules. Plus, shrimp find it highly palatable and will swarm to it within minutes of you adding it to your tank. I'm proud to offer my own brand of snowflake food called Snow, which comes in 1 ounce, 2 ounce, and 4 ounce bags. For a limited time, get 30% off your next purchase using the promo code SHRIMPLYSNOW. You'll find the link to this food in the description below. Providing the right food plays a key role in supporting a shrimp's well-being, as eating is one of their most basic natural instincts, which brings us to the final and sixth factor, natural instincts. Shrimp are naturally cautious creatures, evolved to survive in environments where they are often prey. These instincts strongly influence their behavior in aquariums even when no real threats are present. Some key aspects of a shrimp's natural instincts are 1. Cautious nature. Shrimp may prefer staying hidden in densely planted areas or dark corners. This is especially true for species like vampire shrimp. Shrimp kept in small numbers are also more likely to hide, whereas larger groups provide a greater sense of safety. 2. Sensitivity to light. Many shrimp are more active during low light periods. Sudden bright lights, like when your aquarium lights turn on, may cause them to retreat to shaded areas. 3. Scavenging behavior. As natural scavengers, shrimp feel more comfortable foraging in areas with nearby cover, allowing them to dart to safety if they sense a threat. 4. Group dynamics. In larger groups, shrimp tend to feel more confident, which means they're more likely to explore open spaces. 5. Environment awareness. Shrimp are highly sensitive to changes in their surroundings. Sudden shifts in water parameters, temperature, or lighting can trigger hiding responses as a protective measure. 6. Substrate preference. Shrimp often feel more secure on textured or varied substrates that provide some camouflage. Fine sand might make them feel more exposed compared to coarser gravel or mixed substrates. And 7. Response to movement. Quick movements in or around the tank, whether from fish or even yourself, can startle shrimp, causing them to dart for cover. This is an instinctive response to potential predators. To help shrimp feel safe and comfortable in an aquarium, provide a variety of hiding spots at different levels of the tank using plants, rocks, and driftwood. Use a mix of open areas and densely planted zones to cater to different comfort levels. Consider 24-hour aquarium lights that gradually dim on and off instead of turning on and off suddenly. Keep shrimp in larger groups to reduce stress and promote natural behaviors. Minimize sudden movements around the tank, especially during feeding times. By understanding and accommodating these natural instincts, you can create an environment where your shrimp feel secure, active, and healthy. To sum up, hiding behavior in shrimp is usually temporary and influenced by a few key factors. It could be due to their adjustment to a new tank, water quality issues, the presence of predators, a lack of hiding spots, molting, or even their natural instincts. The good news is, with proper acclimation, stable water parameters, and a safe environment, your shrimp will likely settle in and become more active over time. If you have any questions about shrimp care, drop them in the comments below using the hashtag AskAndy. I'd love to feature them in future videos. Now, if you're concerned about your shrimp's health or why they might be dying after adding them to your tank, watch this video next. And don't forget to subscribe for more shrimp keeping tips and guides like this. I'm Andy, thanks for watching, and I hope I made shrimp keeping a little easier for you. I'll see you in the next one.